ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from the Matt Black Kia Studios, here's Josh Hennig.
I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow up that Eagles game yesterday. We're going to do our best here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Just when you thought the season couldn't get any worse, the Eagles go out there and just make a fool out of every Eagle fan out there. And we're all starting to wonder what is going on with this team. We'll break it all down here on the Power Hour known as Game Night, leading you up to college football playoff. I'll give you my pick for the college football playoff in less than an hour from now. But right now, you can join the conversation, 609-403-0973. Your thoughts on the Eagles and the NFL playoffs here. Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press will join us in less than 20 minutes from now. So let's get into the details here, because now that the regular season is over and now that the Eagles have officially lost 5 of the last 6 games, this team started 10-1. And it's absolutely embarrassing to me that this team has completely fallen on their face. And the fact that the Eagles, the only answer they can give you after every game is, we got to be better, we got to do better. It's absolutely pathetic. There's no other NFL team on earth that literally says one thing all week and does something else on the football field. No other team in football does this. You know, there's an old saying that actions speak louder than words. Well, at some point, Nick Sirianni and the players got to realize that when they open their mouth and they say certain things, people are expecting something to happen. And then when it doesn't, you see a game like yesterday. And look, I'm working on right now an article, top 5 reasons why the Eagles ended the season this way. But I'm here to tell you it's more than just losing 5 out of 6 games. I'm here to tell you that the Eagles may be the worst team in all the NFL playoffs. They may be a worse team than the Green Bay Packers. They may be a worse team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They may be worse than any other team in the postseason you can name. And the reasons are pretty straightforward. And yes, I am here to rip the team. I am here to dig my teeth into this team, because I'm not going to sit here and placate people. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they'll be better next week. I have no idea. You had a Giants team that had no reason to win the game. They are going to get a top draft pick. The Giants hurt their own draft stock by beating you yesterday. This defense has gotten worse since Matt Patricia took over. Those 4 games, the Eagles are scoring 2 more points per game than when Sean Desai was defensive play caller. And what's worse is, what do we see again yesterday in the 4 o'clock hour, in the 5 o'clock hour, watching the game? Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith dropping in coverage. Why? Who thinks that's a good idea? Why are we taking players and asking them to do something that is not their skill set? Unless the Eagles are playing the greatest game of chicken we've ever seen, this defense is going to get shredded by Tampa. Let me tell you something about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. People can make all the jokes that they want about Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. But you know what Baker Mayfield has done against defenses that are like the Eagles? You see, he ended the season actually against 2 solid defenses, the Saints and the Panthers. The Panthers are a feisty defense. Saints, they're a fundamentally good defense. But when they played the Jags, who have a lot of injuries in defense, the Packers, who also are not a great defensive team, the Falcons, who are an overrated team, when they played those teams in those 3 games for the last 2, Baker Mayfield had 8 touchdowns and no interceptions and a completion percentage of 67% in those 3 games. In fact, if you take out the Panthers game altogether, you know what Baker Mayfield has done in the last 10 games? 10 games before yesterday's game. 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 100.1 quarterback rating. This defense is an absolute joke. And the way they're running the defense makes it worse. And everyone with half a brain, you got people like Dan Orlovsky and Emmanuel Acho breaking down the film on Twitter. And they're all asking the same question we are. Why? Why? And Patricia can stand there all he wants with his pencil in his ear and, calling plays. But the reality is, whenever the camera flips over to them, I don't see anyone questioning him. I don't see anyone pressing him. Hey, man, why are they getting so many first downs? Why is it so easy for them to get yards and score on us? And it's not like the offense is any better. You're talking about an offense that was one of the 10 best offenses passed in the league last year. They're 16th this year. They're averaging 3 less points per game from last year to this year. And if you're going to tell me that this team is only worse because Shane Steichen is no longer here, then that is a direct indictment of Nick Sirianni, Brian Johnson, and Howie Roseman and the entire Eagles organization, that they were so dumb, deaf, and blind. And I mean that in the most anatomical ways. That they were blind, dumb, and deaf to how good Shane Steichen was. That they didn't prepare accordingly for his departure. The ignorance of this organization, the chutzpah, the ego to keep telling the fans, we got to do better. We're a good football team. Well, you're not playing like it. You're not acting like it, and you're not showing it. I can come up with 20 million stats. I got a sheet a mile long here on my hand, Josh Hennig here on GameNight on 97.3 ESPN. I got all the information in my hand that explains to you why this team is not good. Did you know that the Philadelphia Eagles are bottom 5 in the NFL in offensive turnovers? Over the last 8 games, the Eagles have the 5th most penalties in the NFL. Oh, there's more where that came from. This team is playing such a poor level of football. But all they can tell us, the media, and you, the fan, is we got to be better. We're not playing up to our standard. Well, no duh, Sherlock. I guess that's why you get paid all that money. To go up there and insult our intelligence. I watched the Houston Texans team clinch a playoff spot on Saturday night. And there was more 1-2 on that team than the Eagles. Is this team complacent? Is this team indifferent? When Dallas Goedert has the gall to say this, I agree with Mike Gill. This is a bigger problem than we realize. And this may be the fundamental issue with this team. He's suggesting that these players waited until the playoffs to get up and going. He's suggesting that this team has basically been not trying for about 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know what's worse. Is it not trying? Is it saying you're trying and then not trying? Is it saying we got to do better and then being one of the worst teams in the NFL at turnovers and penalties? Is it the fact you changed the play caller or the fact that the change the play caller, the defense got worse? Is it that you lost Shane Steichen, or is the fact the offense took such a step back and yet all you can tell us is we're going to keep doing what we've been doing? There is a point where I look around the NFL and I used to talk about how Eagle fans and Philadelphia fans should be appreciative of what they have. Today is one of those days where you have more than the right to complain. Because if you're a Steelers fan right now, if you're a Texans fan, if you're a 49ers fan, you're a Rams fan, if there are any Rams fans at this point, if you're a Lions fan, if you are a Tampa fan, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you're a Packers fan, you're a fan of any team, the Buffalo Bills, you are a better place than Eagle fans. Because right now, Eagle fan, congratulations, you made the playoffs, but you showed up to the dance and your date is late. Somebody spilled something a drink on your jacket. You smell like trash because someone dumped trash on your head. But congratulations, you're at the dance. Welcome to the party. You look and smell horrible. And we still haven't seen your date yet. Is your date an invisible person? That's who the Eagles are right now. 609-403-0973. That's the text board. Your DMs into the 973 ESPN mobile app. Powered by First Bank of Seattle. We will get into next with Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press about not just the Eagles, not just the playoffs, but the coaching situation, because there is already speculation out there that if Nick Sirianni and the Eagles get run out of Tampa, if they get run over by the Bucs, that Sirianni's future could be in jeopardy. And if it is, who could be the next head coach? We'll talk with Rob Maaddi about that and more next. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles playoff football. It's the Super Wild Card round as the Eagles travel to Tampa to face the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. 97.3 ESPN.
Oh yeah, it's on. Nissan.
Looking for some holiday cash? Then don't miss Matt Blatt Nissan's holiday vehicle buyback. It doesn't matter what you drive. AJ the Trademan wants to buy your vehicle today. Regardless of the make, miles, condition, or situation, AJ will buy your ride for cash today. So treat yourself to a brand new Nissan. 0 down, 0 payments, 0% interest on every new Matt Blatt Nissan Rogue or Frontier in stock. That's a brand new Nissan with 0% financing for 36 months, or come in and get a brand new Versa for only $17,999. And make no payments until March on any brand new Nissan. AJ says you'll get more cash than you think and drive away with peace of mind, because only Matt Blatt Nissan has a 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Matt Blatt Nissan. Qualifications exist with approved credit. $27.78 per thousand financed on in-stock 2023 Nissan Rogues and Frontiers. And all will qualify. Go to mattblattnissan.com for complete details or call 844-917-4758. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer except for licensing, registration, and taxes. VIN RL821625. Versa S. MSRP $20,635. It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan on the Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game, or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in New Jersey. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Come enjoy some delicious additions to our fall menu. Feast on our sweet fire barbecue wings, served with our tasty chive ranch dressing. Our Thai chicken sandwich with pickled red onions and sweet lime dressing, served with a minced slaw. Or Chickies and Pete's hot honey pepperoni pizza with extra pepperoni and delicious hot honey. For game day or any day, come see us all fall at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Come taste our unique flavors for fall with some delicious additions to our cocktail menu. Try a pumpkin white Russian with Stoli vanilla, or a tasty tequila apple pie with butterscotch schnapps. Or how about a fireball apple cider sangria topped with ginger beer for game day or any day? Come see us all fall long at the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
We all make resolutions this time of year, and let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hey, Josh Hennig here to tell you about how Jenkins Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has helped your favorite football team. Did you know that over 40 years ago, John Jenkins Sr. invented the heated seat that football players sit on today? Yes, the Jenkins family created a way for football players to weather the extreme cold. Now imagine what Jenkins could do for your home. Call Jenkins for plumbing, drain cleaning, and leak repairs, gas furnace, boiler, and hot water heater replacements. Call Jenkins today at 609-641-6262, online at jenkinsandsons.com.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We'll get you a text board in just a bit. 609-403-0973. That's text board. Keep the messages coming in. Also, your DMs into 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank. And Seattle will be joined by Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press in just a moment. Don't also forget, later this hour, we will announce the winners of the giveaway contest. I was over at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City on Saturday for the Mainland Regional Celebration of the Other State Championship. We signed people up for 2 contest prize giveaways, and we will announce those winners in about 25 minutes from now. So stay tuned for that here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Right now, let's get back into what is going on with the Eagles, what is going on in the NFL. Rob Maaddi is the senior NFL writer for the Associated Press. He joins me right now on GameNight on 97.3 ESPN. Rob, welcome back to the show. How you doing today?
What's going on, Josh? It's end of regular season, so the grind's almost over, but the best part's just beginning, man. It's playoff time, 13 more games to go, and I'm not sure if the Eagles are going to be more than one and done at this point.
No, they're probably not, Rob. I was making the case before you came on that they might be the worst team of all the playoff teams, and it's not because who they are on paper. It's because, Rob, they are one of the worst teams on the field, and for as much talk as they've been giving, actions speak louder than words, and I don't understand how anyone could be confident in a team that has gotten worse since they changed the defensive coordinator. They have gotten worse at penalties in the last 8 games. You know, they had the 5th most penalties in the NFL in the last 8 weeks, but we're supposed to have confidence this team is going to get on a plane and go to Tampa and not fall on their face?
I'm going to give fans in Philly and South Jersey and Delaware and the surrounding areas some hope for this Buccaneers game, because I have watched Tampa Bay play every game week in and week out under Todd Bowles, and there is nothing about this football team that scares me to the point where I think they're not beatable. They've done some good things. They've played well in spurts. They also struggled miserably against Carolina and were beat up by New Orleans 2 weeks ago. So just about every team in the playoffs could beat and should be favored against Tampa Bay. The Eagles are playing about as bad of a football as I have seen this team play in a while. And you outlined everything that's wrong with the Eagles, whether it's penalties, whether it's and some of these things, Josh, I think are uncharacteristic in that they look unprepared. Yesterday, they looked like they quit. They look like a team that just didn't want to show up and would have preferred to be given the week off and accepting of the 5 seed as opposed to fighting for the 2 because they knew it was out of their control. They have regressed in big time ways. And at this point, yeah, it's hard to see them beating anybody except for the fact that it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's not walking through that door. It's still Baker Mayfield. And while he's played tough and he's played admirably and he's put up nice numbers, he's got better passing statistics than Jalen Hurts this year. I wouldn't trust him if I was a Buccaneers fan. And this is one of those games where I'm surprised. I'm happy it's on Monday night. I preferred it to be on Monday night because I'm going to be there and I didn't want it to interfere with any of the other games, right? I hate being at a game on Sunday or Saturday. Now it overlaps with the other one. I got to catch up.
Right.
No, I could watch all the other games and then go cover this one. So I'm happy it's on Monday night. I'm just surprised the NFL wanted it on Monday night because both teams are playing so blah. The Eagles we're waiting for them to turn the switch, and they haven't. And at some point, they may run out of time, and that can happen next Monday. But if they came in and won 27-13, that wouldn't shock me. And that's so wild that you're going into a playoff game thinking this team could lose 12-10. They could win 27-10. They could win at a field goal in overtime. Like, anything can happen, and I don't have a firm grip on it right now.
Here's my question though for that, because you're talking about that, hey, Tampa's not that good, but Philadelphia's not playing good. But we saw Philadelphia lose to the Giants, lose to the Cardinals, lose to the Seahawks. All games in theory you should have won. And I think that's part of the problem. And I was ripping Sirianni last week because he had that quote where he, drops the expletive and says, we're not changing what we're doing. I don't care what our record is. And it's like, the definition of insanity, Rob, is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. And I'm starting to wonder if the Eagles are insane because they feel like the guy who showed up to the dance, someone dumped some trash on him, he got a drink spilled on his jacket, and he's still waiting for his date to show up.
it's a great analogy. They're playing terrible football, and yeah, I keep waiting for that switch to go. I keep waiting for them to do what they did against Buffalo, and the defense struggled in that game, but at least the offense was able to move the ball, put up 37 points, and win. They haven't been there, and you can look back at the 10-1 start. There were games where they should have lost. They could have lost that Buffalo game if the Bills don't miss a field goal. They could have lost to the Chiefs if MVS doesn't drop a ball. Dallas doesn't self-destruct. They could have lost that game too. So they could have very well been 7-4 instead of 10-1 or whatever. But they found ways to win, and now they're not doing that. And now they look like when I'm watching Jalen Hurts against the blitz, and he's got no clue what to do. And I'm wondering, is that coaching? Is that the quarterback? What is that? Who do we blame, right? Because we've seen in years past where quarterbacks get absolutely crucified in Philadelphia. And Jalen has had a tremendous year last year. And I didn't think, when people would ask me in the offseason if this was the year that he was going to take a step back. And I said, well, I haven't seen anything to this point that would indicate that he's going to take a step back. I think he's positioned to take another step forward. Well, here we are, 17 games later. He took a step back. And is it him, or is it the coaching? Was Shane Steichen that much of a difference maker for this?
Rob,
offense?
I literally was asking that today. I was like, did Shane Steichen, was he like the guy who covered like all the problems? Because like, how do you drop 3 points per game from one year to the next just because a coordinator left?
And beyond that, right? You drop 3 points per game, and they're completely out of sync. Even when they were winning all year long, they ran the football well for a few games. Then they threw the heck out of the ball. A.J. Brown had a tremendous stretch where it looked like he was on a record-breaking pace, and then nothing. I don't know how much you can – it takes me back to Frank Reich. Well, they won a Super Bowl with Frank. He left. They could never match that. Then Frank goes elsewhere. He never has the success somewhere else. Like, how much of it is the comfort, the continuity, the chemistry, the relationships, and the familiarity with one person? Like, was Shane Steichen this team's MVP? Couldn't have been. It was Jalen Hurts. But now Jalen Hurts is out there, and he certainly don't look like a $50+ million quarterback. He looks like a $5 million quarterback at times. They got to fix that. Otherwise, they're gonna have some issues going forward with the salary cap and the quarterback if he continues to play that way. I don't know what can solve this problem, but I would anticipate 2 new coordinators at this point going into next year. Josh, I still think Nick's job is safe. I know people in Philly there's even media saying, well, that's it. You know, he one and done at the Buccaneers, and he's 34-17. It's a .667 winning percentage in the regular season in 3 years. I don't know how you move on from a coach like that. He inherited a team that was 4-11-1, and then went to the playoffs, and then went to the Super Bowl. And yeah, I know they collapsed this year, but you got to see how it plays out. But to me, I'm already thinking even a loss to the Buccaneers, Nick's job should be safe, but the coaching staff needs to be reorganized. And I'm not sure, however, if it's a bad loss. I'm writing today on, we're all waiting. Like, it's a pretty slow Black Monday around the league, right? Only Ron Rivera lost his job. Arthur Smith lost it late Sunday night, and Scott Bitterer was fired as the GM. But there's the 3 other openings. But we're all waiting on Bill Belichick's next move. What's going to happen there? And I'm writing about, well, there's 2 teams in the playoffs this weekend who, if Dallas somehow lost the 2-7 matchup to Green Bay, I can't see Mike McCarthy surviving. And there's that possibility. If Jeffrey Lurie felt that Sirianni has lost the locker room and players have lost faith in him, then maybe he makes a move. I don't think so, but it's possible.
AP senior NFL writer Rob Maaddi joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank. See how at Rob Maaddi on the Twitter X platform. If we can just venture down that road for a moment, Rob, that you mentioned about if everything goes bad for the Eagles in the playoff game, and if they decide, Jeffrey Lurie says, you know what, I've seen enough. What on earth do you do? Because wasn't the whole point of getting rid of Doug Peterson? Hey, things went bad with Doug. Well, you're telling me 3 years later, things went bad with Sirianni too? And then things went bad with Chip Kelly? Like, you can't just keep recycling guys. I mean, this isn't hockey. You got to have some stability, right? So, it's getting to the point where, like, if they get rid of Sirianni, the Eagles are going to look like the organization that doesn't have stability, yet they've been in the postseason 6 of the last 7 years.
Yeah, and then you start wondering, you start putting Jeffrey Lurie almost in David Tepper's category of impatience. Although he's had 3 head coaches in 5.5 years. I don't see it happening, but the common denominator through Chip and all of that is the GM, Howie Roseman. And while he gets a ton of credit and well-deserved accolades for winning the Super Bowl in 2017 and what he put together, gave Carson Wentz a contract before he needed to, wanted to get ahead of it and make sure they got him on their terms before quarterback market skyrocketed. Understandable, but that kind of backfired. Again, Jalen Hurts coming off a tremendous year. You give him a contract that's extremely crazy, but in line with what the top elite quarterbacks are making. That's what the top quarterbacks, that's what Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, like that's what these guys are making. I guess at the end of the day, though, when you see failure on the field, you also at some point have to point the finger at the person in charge of personnel and putting the coaching staff together. And that goes back to Howie Roseman, who does a great job at self-preservation, Josh.
I want to ask you about a few other things around the NFL before I let you go, Rob. Let's touch on the guys who have already been let go, those jobs. We obviously have Atlanta. They joined the fray. Washington joins the fray along with Carolina and the Raiders and the Chargers. How many of those places are going to be putting, on the waiting game to see, as the playoffs progress, and how many of those guys are those organizations are going to be watching tonight's college football game with Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, I think Jim Harbaugh is going to be a hot coaching commodity for everyone who's the Commanders have interest. The Chargers are going to have interest. Everyone's going to have interest in Jim Harbaugh. And I think everyone's going to have interest to some degree in Bill Belichick if he becomes available. At the same time, you also have to go through all of the NFL's criteria to interview 2 outside minority candidates, not from within. So even if the Raiders wanted to give Antonio Pierce, who did a great job on an interim basis, they couldn't hire him. They couldn't extend until they go outside and interview. So you have to go through that. Of course, we know Ben Johnson's a hot candidate as the offensive coordinator of the Lions. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they're one and done, Josh, and he could be available to interview as early as next week. They could lose to the Rams in a 3-6 matchup, and especially after losing Sam Laporta, their rookie tight end. So it's going to be interesting. I think teams would be best served to do their due diligence, wait on some of the candidates, interview. Though if you have a shot at Jim Harbaugh quickly, then certainly after tonight's game, if he's going to want to make that move to the NFL, and I'm pretty sure he certainly wouldn't have hired Don Yee if he wasn't serious about looking at these opportunities. And if he wins the national championship, he can say, my work here is done. I did what I wanted to do. So there are going to be some interesting searches. but you got to wait on the Patriots, and you got to wait on Belichick, because that's going to change so much. Washington's going to be interested. The Chargers are going to be interested. I'm guessing the Raiders, to some degree, will have interest in Bill Belichick, although they've gone the Patriot way in the past and it hasn't worked out for them. Atlanta doesn't have the quarterback. So that is going to be a big one. You know that Harbaugh is going to be most likely willing to entertain offers, but is Bill going to be available? And I wonder if Robert Kraft has already made up his mind, but wants to try and get something because Bill's under contract, try and get something in return. I don't know that Bill's going to want to go somewhere and have a team trade draft picks for him, because now he'll be in a situation where they gave up draft. Like it would be better to be some sort of mutual parting of the ways.
Although it'd be ironic, because didn't he get to New England because of draft picks in a deal? Like, I mean,
yeah. And resigning from the Jets by writing it on a napkin.
Right.
It was. I mean, there's all. Bill Belichick is a different guy, and he's had a ton of success, but all that success is tied to Tom Brady, and I don't know that he's going to find any success in a world without TB12. Although, if you get him to LA and give him Justin Herbert, that may change things, right? If you get him a quarterback, and if he for some reason stayed in New England and they got the number 3 pick, they'd have to hit on that. Like I would think he'd be better off going to a team like the Chargers that has an established young quarterback like Justin Herbert. Atlanta doesn't. Washington, Sam Howell, we still don't. The jury's still out on him. Vegas, we don't know about, and Carolina and Bryce Young hasn't proved it to me yet, and I don't think he's proved it to anyone else.
What about if Sirianni goes out into in the flames? What about Belichick for Philly?
That'd be interesting and fun in Philadelphia. That would be the media would absolutely hate Belichick in Philadelphia. I couldn't see, as even though Jeffrey Lurie's got the old Patriot, that was his team, right, growing up, and he wanted to buy the Patriots. That's not his MO. He's interviewed guys in the past, the Tom Coughlins and Dick Vermeil, and guys who've had success and won Super Bowls elsewhere, but he's always looking for that hot, new, young guy like Andy Reid, Doug Peterson, Nick Sirianni. They all came out of nowhere. I wonder what that short list would look like, and I'm going to start asking around and trying to see what it could entail for Jeffrey Lurie. Again, I don't think Nick's going anywhere. He certainly, to me, he shouldn't. I don't care if they lose to the Buccaneers. The guy's 34-17, took you to playoffs 3 years in a row. At some point, you also have to put some blame on the players not executing and not playing. It can't always. I know Philadelphia loves to always. It's always the coach. It's the coach. It's the coach. It's the play calling. It's all of that. At some point, players got to perform too, especially when they're making a ton of money.
2 more before I let you go. Speaking of Philadelphia, did Carson Wentz just set up the Rams' road to the Super Bowl? Because Matthew Stafford gets to go to Detroit, beat his old team. In the next round, they presumably would be against the 49ers if they're the lowest seed. And we know the Rams are not a great matchup for the 49ers. The Rams may have paved their road back to a Super Bowl, and it's all because of Carson Wentz rushing for a touchdown on Sunday, Rob.
They're 6-1 since they signed Carson. I thought he was a bad teammate. I thought you don't win with Carson Wentz. He's a cancer in the locker room. All I know is they're 6-1, and obviously I'm saying that sarcastically because he didn't play all of those games. He only played yesterday and performed very well. I was stunned, Josh, by the 16 carries, many designed runs, draws, and he's diving head first. Like, I found it ironic. He's out there diving head first into the end zone and on other rushes for the Rams when it was the Rams who he dove head first into the end zone.
Exactly. Yes.
Like, Carson, what are you doing? Like, when are you going to slide, man? Seriously, going. You know what? I'm about to. After we get off, I got to text him that because it's been a minute. So I got to check in with CW, and I can't believe that he was out there doing that. The 2 touchdown throws were bullets. The interception, though, was just so familiar. Batted ball, goes up in the air. Well, that actually wasn't a batted ball. It bounced out of the receiver's hands and went up in the air, and a rookie makes a dive. A guy playing his first ever game makes a diving catch. But good for Carson. He played very well. The Rams, like everybody, Josh, wants to name the team you don't want to face, right? The team you don't want to face, it's the Rams, it's the Browns. I think to some degree, you could put, even though we just bashed them for 20 minutes, the Eagles on that list. Because if I was Detroit, if I was Dallas, if I was San Francisco, as bad as the Eagles have played, I still look at that team that was 10-1 and go, if they find a way to put it all together, they can come in here and beat me.
It's so true. Even though I can't personally take that step, I'll let you make that case, Rob. Before I let you go, I do got to say, though, the one game in the NFL playoffs I'm disappointed about, because they're two of my favorite stories in the league this year. CJ Stroud and the Texans playing Joe Flacco and the Browns. I wish they would played anyone but each other, because I feel like these are two teams that can cause a lot of problems in the playoffs. I love CJ Stroud. I love what he's done this year. And, Kevin Stefanski, I mean, he's got 11, 12 starters at this point injured, and the Browns are right there. I mean, Ryans and Stefanski, they got to be the leaders in the clubhouse for coach of the year. And then Flacco, what he's done with the Browns, and CJ Stroud as a rookie, elevating that franchise. It's two of my favorite stories in the NFL.
Yeah, and I didn't see the post-game interview, and you tweeted about that with CJ Stroud. I got to go back and find that, because I love
they censored it later. They edited it pretty good on later at the 2 a.m. Sports Center. But
really
live at the live around like 11:30, 11:40 when he's talking to Lisa Salters, every other word is, I want to thank God. I'm here because of Jesus. I got a Bible verse on my wrist here. Let me tell you about Proverbs,
Really?
And Lisa just letting him go. Lisa, with the professional she is, she just let him keep going and let him have his moment. But he was all about it there.
How about that? Well, you know what? There's a conversation I had with him recently that I didn't air yet, so we'll have that on in honor of CJ Stroud and the Browns facing the Browns this week. He'll be on Faith on the Field this week. I'll make sure to make that happen. But yeah, that's two teams that are exciting and fun to watch for different reasons. One, you got the up and coming CJ Stroud and the rookie head coach and DeMeco Ryans, and how they went from last to first, and then the veteran leadership that Joe Flacco brings to the Browns and all the injuries that they've had. And then Myles Garrett, a defensive player of the year candidate. And sadly, one of those teams is going to be out by about 8 p.m. on Saturday. And I'm going to be disappointed in that. I am not disappointed, though, that the Chiefs-Dolphins game was selected to be on Peacock, because I will now make sure that I don't download Peacock so I don't have to see Taylor Swift 452 times on my screen that night. Although I do think I still have the NFL Plus, so I'm still going to be able to watch it, but it'll be smaller. I'll be watching on my tablet instead of on a big screen, so I may not have to see that pan to the suite every 2 seconds with Travis Kelce. It's surprising, or not surprising, but ironic that the Chiefs have had some issues this year, considering some of the distractions that the team has had.
He's Rob Maaddi at Rob Maaddi on the Twitter X platform. Don't forget about the AP Pro Football Podcast. Like, subscribe, share, get it wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, Faith on Field, as aforementioned, Saturday and Sunday mornings right here on 97.3 ESPN. Rob, always appreciate you jumping on. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk soon.
You got it, my friend. Take care.
Absolutely. Rob Maaddi, great stuff from him here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Check out the text board. Jeff in Ocean City, you're texting more at 609-403-0973 next, along with the announcement of the prize winners from Saturday's Hard Rock Cafe and Hotel and Casino giveaway from the Mainland celebration of their state championship. That's coming up next with me, Josh Hennig, on 97.3 ESPN.
The College Football Playoff National Championship Presented by AT&T. Number 1 Michigan.
This team was focused on winning it all.
Who's got it better than us?
Number 2 Washington.
Everybody just collectively just continue to believe our goal is to win the national championship. We're not going to get distracted and forget about that goal. Husky Nation, stand up, man. We're going to the Natty, man.
Listen to the NCAA championship game, Michigan and Washington on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 p.m.
Open enrollment is happening right now, New Jersey. Join the many residents who are getting quality, affordable health coverage through Get Covered New Jersey. If you need health insurance, this is the time to enroll. Get Covered New Jersey offers increased plan choices and more savings than ever. 9 in 10 people get financial help or plans that include preventive care, prescriptions, emergency services, and more. And many pay $10 a month or less. Find your plan at getcovered.nj.gov.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-294-8831 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-294-8831. That's 800-294-8831. What do you have to lose? Call 800-294-8831. Again, 800-294-8831.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
The power's out in our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. Oh, who moved the couch? So that's what we're doing right now, in fact, is I try and feel around for a seat. Ah, here we go. Oh, cactus? Can I get a little help over here?
Yeah, bro. Just let me finish this boss battle.
Sure. Go ahead. Medic!
Now you can get fast, reliable internet on the Xfinity 10G network and get storm-ready Wi-Fi when you upgrade, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Only from Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Storm-ready Wi-Fi limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. For more details, visit Xfinity.com/stormready.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough. Our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Stop the countdown. Don't let the new year pass you by without upgrading your ride. So bring any trade, no matter the make, mileage, or condition. We'll take it, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, and put you into a new matte black Kia with low, 0 down payments, 0.9% financing, and 0 down payments until April. And only matte black Kia has a 4-day love it or leave it return policy. We know bad things happen to good people. We want to approve you. We finance your future, not your past. Even if you're currently stuck in a loan or lease, we want to get you released and into your new matte black Kia with 0 down, 0 payments until April on every new Kia in stock.
It's gotta be a matte black Kia.
With approved credit, not all will qualify. Credit may affect down payment. Offers can be combined. Go to matteblackkia.nj.com for complete details. 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes through KMF at $21.22 per thousand for 48 months. Rebates and incentives to dealer expires 2/2/24. Matte black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card good for use at Jester's Dive Bar for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
Seize the deal.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
All right, before we get to the text board, as I promised, these are the winners from, so at Hard Rock Atlantic City on Saturday, we were there for the Mainland Regional celebration of their state championship, going 14-0 this season. And here are the winners. So the winner of the Hard Rock Atlantic City prize package, which includes a gift basket and passes to an upcoming show, as well as certificate for a restaurant on the property. That would be Amber Cook. So she is the winner of that prize. And the winner, one of the football players, we gave out one prize specifically for the players. So it passes to Maury's Piers this summer. That goes to Mainland Regional football player Zach Hodges. So congratulations to both of you. I'll be giving you guys a call after the show tonight. All right, over on the text board, 609-403-0973. George in Summers Point says, hey, Josh, now that the playoff field is set, who do you see coming out of the NFC and AFC for the Super Bowl? George, I know the easy answer is going to say the Ravens and the 49ers, so I'm not going to give you that answer. I genuinely believe I'm going to answer it like this. I think the two best teams in the NFC in terms of their road to the postseason are the 49ers and the Rams. I think those are the two teams that are most dangerous. I think they're the two teams that create the most matchup problems for teams in the NFC. I think the Rams they're just a bad matchup for everyone. And I think the 49ers being at home and that home field advantage, they're going to be motivated to try to get back to the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens should be the favorite in the AFC, not just because they have home field advantage, but because their defense is that good. I think that Lamar Jackson might win MVP this year. And really, to me, the only team that is a threat to them is, in my opinion, the Buffalo Bills. Because I think Buffalo has shown you they can win games on the road. They're a competitive football team, and that they're one of the best in the NFL. So I think if I had to pick a matchup right now, I know Chalk says 49ers, Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Bills, 49ers, Ravens. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Bills, Rams, honestly. Jeff in Ocean City says, Josh, thanks for the NFL picks last week. They made such a great game. Yes, I do. I like Washington to cover the spread. I think the over-under is too suspicious. So I think Washington cover the 4.5-point spread is probably the way to go for this game. That and also Washington over the point total. Washington played one of the best defenses in college football this year twice in Oregon. And they ran all over them. So I don't think there's anything Michigan's defense can do to them. Initially slow them down. Michigan may win the game, but they might not win at the sports book, if you know what I mean. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night. College football championship game next on 97.3.
This is a radio home for Philadelphia Eagles playoff football. It's the Super Wild Card round as the Eagles travel to Tampa to face the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
First and 10 Bucks. Mayfield back, dancing around. He is sacked back at the 30. Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7. Merrill and Mike call all the playoff action starting at 8:50. This is South Jersey's official home for Eagles playoff football. 97.3 ESPN. Brought to you by
Jenkins Plumbing and Heating at jenkinsonSons.com. Piccalilli Inn. Nobody beats the Piccalilli, Route 206 in Chemung. Frank Vincent Windows, Roofing, Siding, and Doors make your home look new again. BMW of Atlantic City. Shop our complete inventory online at bmwatlanticcity.com. Ocean Casino. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. And First Bank of Sea Isle.
97.3 ESPN FM is your official home in South Jersey for Eagles football.